Kirsten Wiles has the latest on a growing downtown controversy. Candy Apple brings us weather on the ones. And your anchor persons have all the news you know you need to know tonight on PS News.
Good evening, Wilmington, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Boydston.
And I'm Ryan P.C. Trimble. Up tonight, is Osama bin Laden's corpse secretly training golden retriever puppies to kidnap toddlers and turn them into ruthless terrorists? And was one of Newt Gingrich's ex-wives actually a metal deck chair from Albany, New York? The answer to these questions and more is yes. But first...
The Star News Wilmington Theater Awards were this past Thursday. The event, held at historic Thaleen Hall, aimed to honor theater in and around the Port City. Opera House Theater Company's production of Hairspray overwhelmingly swept the awards, but Pineapple-Shaped Lamps and The Brown Coat were not forgotten. Cannibal the Musical took home the award for audience favorite, while The Brown Coat itself was awarded Building Most Likely to Burst into Flames at a moment's notice. Last week, a school crossing sign in New York City was removed due to its misspelling of the word school as S-H-C-O-O-L. When questioned, the Sign Makers Union of New York explained, "We wanted everyone to know this is a school zone, even dyslexic children." According to a recent study by Florida State University, unemployment rates for the disabled have skyrocketed to a high of 42%. When asked about the new report, the American Association of People with Disabilities, the responses were muddled. Arthur Morin, spokesperson for the Deaf Americans Association, responded with, "What?" While Roger Sontag from the National Organization of the Visually Impaired stated, "We can't seem to see our way to a solution, or, for that matter, to the grocery store." Similarly, in a press release dated February 1st, the Amputee Association of America claimed that, quote, "It's hard for members of our group to get a leg up in their search for a job," end quote.
Wilmington's 273rd birthday is quickly approaching. As the city prepares to celebrate the event, a noteworthy piece of history has been discovered on Front Street. Kirsten Wiles is there with the story for us. Kirsten?
Thank you, Ryan. I'm here in downtown Wilmington where the air is abuzz with the sounds of history. The history of things past and the history of things that are currently happening. Here on Front Street, a local historian has made a remarkable discovery. This humble red brick. It is 376 years old and is the oldest paving stone in Wilmington. I spoke briefly with the man who first came across the stone.
The brick in question, was first placed here by a Mr. Thomas Thurber, the man who Igneous invented Wilmington. Now, when he first came here, it was an absolute bog. There were no pebbles, people to speak of. It's a very old rock.
With its discovery comes the question that haunts all items of historical value, the question of preservation. Current plans call for a historical marker to be erected 2 blocks west of here. But is that enough for the 900-year-old relic? I took to the streets to find out.
Well, I think we ought to leave the mineral where it currently rests. I mean, no use in disturbing a perfectly good paving stone.
Oh, geez, I didn't know anything about a paving stone. Oh, can we get a picture with it?
Oh, we don't have anything like that up in Wisconsin.
Oh, Gad, no.
The stone should not be moved. In the time when Timmyawit, the coyote boy, ruled this land, the stone was placed here by Zakasopintit, the fire spirit of the warrior people. He traveled here on the blue sky bridge that was torn from the heavens by the Great Spirit. Excuse me.
Such a paving stone ought to be rightly thrashed for such naughty behavior. Who even left the stone alone in any case? Who is supervising the stone? These are the questions that must be answered! Harumph!
Dr. Ambrose had a few thoughts of his own.
If we were to try to move the stone, we would only result in stalactite disturbing it, in doing more hornblendite harm than granite, than good. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
For now, the 12th century-old stone will remain on Front Street. It is up to City Council to decide what the next step will be. I'm Kirsten Wiles, live on Front Street. Back to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Kirsten. This weekend, the Giants and the Patriots will face off in Super Bowl 46. In past years, halftime shows have included Paul McCartney, Prince, and the Rolling Stones. Trying to appeal to more women, Madonna and Nicki Minaj were announced as the performers for this year's halftime show. According to recent polls, however, 78% of men disagree with this choice. They would rather have their wives cook up some wings, serve them beer, and stay in the kitchen where they belong. A dentist in Massachusetts has pleaded guilty to fraud for using paper clips instead of stainless steel posts in his patients' root canals. The man has been sentenced to 1 year in jail and Lil Wayne's teeth. Islamic militant group the Taliban is reportedly trying to soften its image, including allowing more women into the typically male Muslim schools. Malouvi Kalamuddin, head cleric for the group, is quoted as saying, "Education is equally as important for men as for women. When we mercilessly rape them and burn down their houses, they ought to know why we're mercilessly raping them and burning down their houses."
We now turn to our meteorologist, Candy Apple, for weather on the ones. How's it looking, Candy?
It's Thursday out.
It's very Thursday, Candy. How about this weekend's forecast?
Shouldn't it be a 3-cast because there's 3 days in a weekend? You know, Wednesday, Saturday, and Thursday?
How astute, Candy. Thank you.
And thank you for watching PS News. We'll be back next week with more of the news you know you need to know. Until then, I'm Ryan PC Trimble.
And I'm Rachel Boydston. Good night, and on with the show.